Welcome to Business Voice, a program of the Greece Regional Chamber of Commerce. Each month, we'll feature business and community leaders sharing their stories, initiatives, concerns, and passions. Learn practical information regarding community resources and opportunities. Now, the host of Business Voice, Greece Regional Chamber President and CEO, Dara Lentini.
Hi, everyone. You're listening to Business Voice, a program of the Greece Regional Chamber of Commerce, sponsored by Bartolomeo and Perotto Funeral Home. I am your host, Dara Lentini. I'm also the president and CEO of the Greece Regional Chamber. We have a very terrific show for you today, starting with my first guest, Dara Petralia of Ryan's Roc'n Deals. Welcome, Dara.
Why, thank you.
It's great to have you on the show. I've known you, a while, and I think we had Ryan's Roc'n Deals featured in a previous show, but you weren't on, so it's lovely to have you on. For anybody who just isn't up to speed yet about this great new store, tell us about Ryan's Roc'n Deals.
Sure. So it's liquidation and overstock. It's building supplies, furniture. It's home decor. It's whatever your home might need, we have. Scratch and dent appliances. We get in primarily new things. Some things might be returned from a customer for a change of style or a change of color. And then we buy bulk and help people locally furnish their places and decorate their places very affordably.
That's great. That's really wonderful. So home furnishings, furniture, appliances, and then like smaller items for furnishings. I remember going in and seeing all sorts of wonderful lamps at one point. It got me very excited.
Yes.
So, right?
So we're like the Marshalls, right? So like you know what you're going to find. And if you see something you like it, you better grab it because it's not going to be there next time.
That's right. Great prices, great great furnishings, and get them while they last, right? Because you're moving,
yes.
And that's a good point. You're moving in a lot of new stuff every day, right?
Every week they get new deliveries of product, and every week there are deliveries to people's homes.
That's great.
So you deliver in and out the door.
So you deliver to people's homes too.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. And I don't think we told people where Ryan's Roc'n Deals is. You have an address for us?
Oh yeah, we're at 571 Stone Road, right before Dewey.
Beautiful. That's great. It's one of those storefronts where you don't realize how far back it goes until you walk in, right? I was amazed by how much space you guys have and how much inventory you have when we were there for the ribbon cutting, which, I don't even know how long ago did you guys open? It seems like yesterday.
We opened right before Christmas last year, so we are approaching our 1-year anniversary.
That's awesome. Congratulations. That's fantastic. And you were one of the owners of Ryan's Roc'n Deals, right, Dara? And so tell us, how Ryan's came to be, and who, there are 3 of you at least that I'm aware of that own the place. So tell us about that and how it came to be.
Yeah. So my husband Joe Petralia and his brother Ryan Petralia. He is the Ryan of Ryan's Roc'n Deals. Locally family-owned small business, and, everyone pitches in. And Ryan really has the expertise with liquidation, with retail sales, and, all of the skills to run it. Mm-hmm. So we're really very fortunate. We have a wonderful team here. One thing that we always get complimented on is that, our team, when customers walk in the door, whether they're new or repeat customers, are always greeted with a smile and with an upbeat personality. And, I think that our team has been the one to really provide the success here.
Yeah. No, everybody's lovely. All 3 of you are lovely. Of course, Ryan himself, very lovely. I wish he had a little height. I'm teasing. Ryan, this is a radio show, so people don't realize I'm 5'0", and Ryan just towers over me. I think we got a very cute photo of the two of us at some event recently, that really illustrates the height difference. and what a nice guy. I mean, all three of you, such lovely people. And I know at least one of this.
He's got a giant heart to match. I can tell you that.
Very nice. Very nice. I just want to mention, not only are we really delighted and grateful to you guys for being members of the Greece Regional Chamber of Commerce, but I also wanted to say that we're really excited that you're the presenting sponsors this year of our holiday party, which is coming up on December 15th in the evening at Ridgemont Country Club, another member of the Chambers. And so thank you so much. We're excited that you're leading the way there with the presenting sponsorship.
Our pleasure, and thank you for all that you do for the community.
Oh, thank you. And I know you've got stuff coming up. Obviously, folks should check you out, on an ongoing basis because you've got wonderful inventory that's coming in into the store. You said every week you're getting new shipments, so that's exciting when you go someplace, and it's also exciting when the inventory isn't exactly the same, right, from week to week. But you've got other things coming up as well, correct?
Yeah, so we are hosting our first ever home expo.
Wow.
And it's going to be November 17th between 4 and 7. And we're going to have a lot of different vendors here to present and to support people for any questions related to buying, selling, or investing in real estate.
Wow.
We're going to have Blake Weber himself of Weber Law to answer any sort of legal questions related to the purchase or sale of a property. The Property Girls of Keller Williams will be here to answer any questions regarding the real estate sale or purchasing. Susanna Dutro of SD Collection will be here to give staging tips, home decorating tips, and advice just on what to look for, how to put a room together.
Wow.
Michelle Marciano of Marciano Insurance will be here.
Wonderful.
We're having GRB Mortgage to answer any sort of, pre-qualifications. Mm-hmm. So anything and everything related to the home, it's a free service for the community. You can come in and pick everyone's brains who's the top of the industry. We're all going to be here, all hands on deck, and might even have a little sampling of something to be announced at the day of the event.
Wow, that sounds like a heck of a program. I can't believe it's free. And say the date and the time again. You don't even have to register, Dara. You can just show up.
No registration. It's open doors. It's November 17th, 4 to 7 p.m. We are keeping the doors open later than usual to accommodate people's work schedules. But we're going to have just a room full of people to answer all of your home-related questions.
Wow. And, of course, this is an area that's, near and dear to your heart, too. I mean, obviously, Ryan's Roc'n Deals is, but you're involved, aren't you, in real estate?
Yes, I am a commercial broker.
Yeah.
So I help businesses move and buy their own buildings.
Yeah. And a lot of people know, a lot of people know you because of the, terrific career that you've built up in that arena. And then, and then you mentioned several organizations that are part of the chamber membership, so that's great, including GRB, Genesee Regional Bank.
Yeah.
I think there's a connection there too, right?
There is. Joe is one of the top loan officers over there. He's one of the top in the county, so he'll be there on behalf of GRB to answer any mortgage-related questions.
That's great.
And, yeah.
So this is everything. This is very synergistic. Everything coming together, right? All of your various pieces of expertise and business and community affiliations, and you're sharing. You and others are sharing everything that you know as best you can in a 4 to 7 time frame on November 17th, and that's at Ryan's Roc'n Deals, which is, correct me if I'm wrong, 571 Stone Road, right? 571 Stone.
Yeah, you got it. And people that are at the top of the industry are going to be here to give of themselves and to answer questions and support. Because a lot of times, people people have a misconception that they can't purchase or that they don't have strong enough credit or, may not even know where to start. And, we're going to be here. We're going to have answers for you. We're going to give you direction. So come learn from the best in the industry.
That's wonderful. And you can still shop, right? I mean, people can still walk in and, look around. Yeah, it's not like it's one or the other. It's wonderful. That's great. So, Dara, before I let you go, is there another way that people can get in touch with you guys if they have questions or if they can't come that night? Other than, we mentioned the address several times, the 571 Stone Road. But is there another way to check out Ryan's Roc'n Deals? Get in touch with you?
Yeah. So really the easiest way to get in touch with us is through Facebook, because we all check those messages, and it's pretty quick response.
Awesome.
So that is Ryan's, RYA apostrophe S, ROC apostrophe N Deals. And, if you want to give the store a call, please do. Ask for Ryan. There's two that work there, so they may trick you. So that store number is 434-0943.
Wonderful. 434-0943. 571 Stone Road near Dewey Avenue. Ryan's Roc'n Deals. If you haven't been there yet, you have to check it out. And if you are free on, you said November 17th, right?
Yep.
November 17th from 4 to 7 p.m., stop on by because you'll get to shop, but you'll also get to hear from the experts in a whole bunch of arenas that touch on the house and home. And just one last thing, are you going to be doing this more, like every year? Is that the idea here with this home expo?
Yes, it is. And we're even open to doing it quarterly if there's enough of a demand.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So we really want to provide some support to the community and some give back for all that they've done for us. So, if there's a big enough demand, we'll make this a more regular thing.
That's fantastic. Well, here's wishing you a wonderful November 17th event. Thanks again for your support of the Chamber's holiday party on December 15th as well. Dara Petralia, I still want to call you by your maiden name, Dara Petralia, one of the owners of Ryan's Roc'n Deals. Thanks so much for being with us here today on Business Voice.
Why, thank you. Continued success all around.
Thank you, Dara. All right, don't go away. We're going to be right back with my next guest. Do not flip that dial.
When someone you love becomes a memory, the memory becomes a treasure. At Bartolomeo and Perotto Funeral Home, the focus is always on how your loved one lived. Bartolomeo and Perotto has been helping families create meaningful tributes and celebrating unique lives for 3 generations. They treat your family like their own, always with the utmost compassion, warmth, and care. When you're in need, call Bartolomeo and Perotto Funeral Home 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at 720-6000.
Since 1983, Herko Computers is Rochester's first and most experienced custom computer system builder. Herko Computers is proud to be working with many of our original customers, including the Greece Chamber of Commerce. Whether you need a custom business PC, gaming system, or network server, Herko Computers can build you a custom computer system that exceeds your expectations. Herko Computers also offers complete IT support for your business. We can configure your business network, provide security from viruses and ransomware to keep your business or medical office running the way it should be. Herko Computers is also a full-service provider of network wiring, Wi-Fi, and network camera systems. Need to upgrade from Windows 7? Give Herko Computers a call at 227-1270 to discuss your options to get your business upgraded to Windows 10. Herko Computers is proudly locally owned and operated since 1983. Call us at 227-1270 and schedule your Herko Computers free IT evaluation. Herko Computers, 227-1270.
Gift yourself a blah-free 2022. Boost your mood and your health in a blink. Blink Fitness is your fun, friendly neighborhood gym with tons of state-of-the-art equipment and a mood-above muscle attitude. Join for $1 and get all the perks. What do you have to lose? Blink Fitness Greece is located at 2833 West Ridge Road in the Wegmans Ridgemont Plaza. Join today and experience feel-good fitness in a blink.
Safeguarding your freedoms and your future. The WYSL stations.
Welcome back. You're listening to Business Voice, a program of the Greece Regional Chamber of Commerce, sponsored by Bartolomeo and Perotto Funeral Home. I'm Sarah Lentini, your host. I'm also the president and CEO of the Greece Regional Chamber. I'm delighted to welcome my next guest, Don Lewinski, who is the owner of Care Patrol of Buffalo, Niagara, Rochester, and Syracuse. Oh, my goodness. Welcome, Don.
Hi, how are you today?
Doing great. So, Don, Care Patrol, tell us about it. Care Patrol might make me think of a few things, but I'm not sure that it totally defines what you do. So, what is it?
It's definitely not like the Apple Store, that's for sure. Yeah, we've had a lot of different assumptions on what we do, and most of them are wrong. But let me tell you what we actually do. So we started Care Patrol back in 2020, actually right before COVID kind of became what we know it is today. And that was back when, I'm sure you can appreciate, you thought COVID was going to be a 5 or 6 week thing, and it would just be something we laughed about at some point, like, oh, that was an inconvenience, and never really realized it was going to become, the unfortunate force and change in the economy that it actually became. But my wife and I, at the time, I was a corporate in-house attorney, and she has been working in healthcare her entire life. We're kind of looking for a change, and we sort of identified this need in the community, even before COVID, for helping families evaluate senior care options. Mm-hmm. So this includes in-home care, assisted living, memory care, senior independent living. And we just thought that, my wife having gone through this process with her grandmother, it's a very daunting process, not only just figuring out the information out there, but the emotional part that goes into, mom can't stay in her house that she's been in for 50 years anymore. So we developed this company, which has now grown from the two of us to a team of 6.
Wow.
And offices in Buffalo, Rochester, and Syracuse, where at no cost to the families, we will come in, utilize our backgrounds in healthcare, social work, law, senior living, to help advise families on every part of this process, from evaluating, is mom or dad still safe in the home? Do they need some services brought in? All the way to, we need to get their house sold. They've got to move into a community to stay safer, to continue to be able to enjoy a quality of life. So pretty much anything in the senior care space, you call us, and we've seen every scenario you can imagine, from the family of 4 that gets along and agrees on everything, to the hybrid family that's half brothers, divorces, step siblings, hate each other, won't communicate with each other, and everything in between.
Yeah, you can end up with some pretty interesting family dynamics that become especially kind of heightened during certain parts of a family's existence. So, you help people identify options and assess them. Do you help them put the options in place?
We sure do. So what we do is, when we do what we call an extensive care discovery. So we want to know, what's going on with mom and dad? What are their health challenges? What are their financial capabilities? What are their geographic desires in terms of where they stay? We know everybody wants to stay home. Nobody wants to leave their home, and we appreciate that. We're not here to sell an option. We're not here to sell a plan. We're here to help the family navigate a process. And sometimes that means mom or dad decides to stay home, we'll help build some services in the house for them, and we'll continue to track the family. And if things change and they just can't maintain anymore, then we'll help, look at more long-term, more involved options. But we'll do everything from gathering the information, reviewing their financial information, helping evaluate legal situations where there's not a power of attorney or they need a power of attorney. We connect people to movers, downsizers, senior move managers, realtors, anybody that's involved in the process. We basically project manage the entire thing.
That's pretty amazing.
So everyone's not having, yep.
Yeah, especially because I thought I heard you say earlier that you do this free of charge to the families.
Yeah, so that's a great question. So how we get compensated is if a family moves in somewhere, think of it as a Medicare broker or a real estate broker where we're presenting all the options. If a family chooses one of those options, then we're compensated by the community. If they don't choose that option, they're not getting a bill from us. That's sometimes how it works. Our objective and why we exist as an organization is to help seniors, and it's to help seniors continue to live a quality of life, to be safe, but to enjoy their life and not just sit home alone and be unsafe and be unhealthy. Our goal is to make seniors have a better quality of life. That's how we can offer the service for free.
Right. And you've talked quite a bit about helping mom and dad to maybe make a movement from their home, if need be, or if they want, to a different kind of a living arrangement. How about helping seniors or folks who are Medicare eligible, perhaps aren't seniors, who are in a hospital setting and then need to make some choices and have some decent choices in front of them for where to go after the hospital, and perhaps home is one of those.
Yep. So those are some great questions. So in terms of, individuals that are on Medicaid, for example, in New York State, there are some options. Unfortunately, New York State, like a lot of states, when you're on Medicaid, it's great. You don't have to pay for it, but the options are a lot more limited. So what we can do for those individuals are connect them to the communities that will take Medicaid. Like I said, unfortunately, it's a very small number. That's a separate license, and only a handful of communities have it. But we'll never just hang up on somebody. We will always try to connect them to whether it's Medicaid planners, Medicaid attorneys, free Medicaid resources, whoever can try to help build the necessary services, we will always try to work through. For families that are in rehabs and hospitals, we've done discharges and placements within 24 to 48 hours. So we are always, those are some of our, sort of our main partners are the hospitals, are the rehabs. Those are places where we've become a trusted partner. And healthcare workers are massively overworked. They are massively understaffed. And it's hard for a healthcare worker, a social worker, a discharge planner to keep tabs on all of the different options available and what the pricing is and what the care options are. So that's where we step in. We're a partner to those men and women to be able to say, hey, trust us to help your patients that are going to get cut from insurance or they're running out of bed space, where we can help either get them back home safe or we can get them into a community where they can kind of, start the next phase of their life and be safe.
So for whom do you work? Or does that shift around depending on the situation? I mean, do you work for the family? Do you work for the patient? Or do you work for the provider, the hospital system, the nursing home?
Well, I guess first I would say probably my wife. But if
what
I'm
a
not,
good answer
if
that
I'm
is.
not working, yes, if I'm not working for her directly, okay, or the other ladies on my team, I feel like I've kind of shifted down the totem pole. But if I'm not working for one of them, And frankly, I should be, because they're that amazing and they're that talented and devoted to what they do. Our focus is always, and same with me as a lawyer, right? It's always on the client or the senior.
Okay,
now,
that's great.
Because of that, just no different than being a lawyer, right? Sometimes I'm working with an accountant or a financial planner. In Care Patrol, I'm working with hospitals and discharge planners and social workers and family members. But sometimes, when it comes to family members, 5 siblings have 5 different opinions of the world, right?
Yes.
We don't control what ends up happening, but when we're putting together a plan or a recommendation, it's with the senior in mind. How are they going to be the safest?
Yep.
But we also know finances are limited. Where they want to be is limited. So we're always trying to figure out, just because somebody has X number of dollars, we don't want them to go somewhere where it's going to be gone in 12 months.
Right.
We want to try to develop a plan where they can reside, they can stay somewhere for as long as possible. But, our objective is always in the best interest of the senior. And sometimes that can be a difficult conversation.
Sure.
We always handle it with respect and compassion. But that's who our loyalty and allegiance is always to.
Well, that's a great answer, and I have to tell you, I think what you're doing is really needed. Kudos to both you and your wife and everyone else on the team for starting this. It sounds kind of unique, and I imagine there are people listening who will want to know how to get in touch with you, because it is really difficult to figure out what's available out there. And even harder to pull it all together. And then there are some cultural issues as well within the various healthcare systems where, there perhaps some of those, very, very burdened, healthcare workers might be unaware of some of the things you're aware of, or might have some, historic biases that are kind of playing in, just like the family members, right? So somebody who can help navigate all of that and provide assistance that's ultimately for the client, for the patient, for the senior. That's, to me, perfect. So how do people get in touch with you, Don? Come on, how do they reach you?
No, that's such a great point. I just wanted to mention quickly on that. If you're looking to go on vacation with your loved ones, and you Google, hotels in the Caribbean, right, or hotels in Florida, half of the reviews are going to tell you it's the best experience of your life. And the other half are going to say there's animals in the kitchen, right? And how do you really decipher that? And it's no different in this space, right? Some people have been very happy with where they've gone, and other people have been very unhappy. And they, now in the age of the Internet, very easy to go right in frustration and emotionally and anger. And it's hard to really kind of work through all of that information, right? We know the violation histories. We know the management teams. We know the layouts. We know the inspection reports. So we can really help the family say, yeah, I know you read those reviews. Here's why that might be right, or here's why that's wrong. But if you want to just even begin to explore that conversation, and you're just even hearing this saying, I know I've got Thanksgiving coming up, or the holidays are coming up, and I know mom's not doing well, or she's missing medication, or she's not staying as clean, or the house is getting messy, call us just to talk about what does this even look like, or what to start looking for. There's a couple of different ways to find us. One is go to carepatrol.com. So just carepatrol.com, and no matter where you are, that will populate to our either Rochester, Syracuse office or our Buffalo, Niagara office. The great thing about Care Patrol, too, is we are all over the country, so if you have a relative in a different part of the country that might need this service, we can always connect you there. But our phone number is 585-532-5558. That's 585-532-5558. We have an office on Allens Creek Road, but we can meet in hospitals, rehabs, homes, Dunkin' Donuts, parking ramps. I mean, you name it. We meet on the weekend. We meet in the morning. We meet at night after work. We're really a 24-hour business. We took, I think, about 4 hours of calls last year on Christmas Eve because families were together. And that's when they were able to talk and see there was a greater problem. So we answer all the time. We get back to people right away. There's no cost to the service. And even if you just don't know where to start, call us and let us at least put you on the right path.
Oh, my goodness. What a wonderful business, wonderful service. Don Lewinski, owner, Care Patrol of Buffalo, Niagara, Rochester, Syracuse, carepatrol.com. That's carepatrol.com. Thank you so much for being here with us today on Business Voice.
Thank you, and thank you for all that the Chamber does for local business in Rochester. You guys are amazing.
Oh, well, you're very welcome. Thank you. I think you're pretty amazing, too. All right, don't go away. We're going to be right back with my next guest. Don't flip that dial.
Funerals can be expensive. You may be surprised to learn that you can get Bartolomeo and Prado Funeral Homes 5-star service at a price you can afford. They understand one price doesn't fit all and strive to ensure that your needs are met within your budget. Their family of funeral homes are a part of helping to achieve that goal. But above all else, they promise quality service. The details are taken care of so you can focus on what's important. Find out more by calling Bartolomeo and Prado Funeral Home at 720-6000.
Need help with health insurance? The Greece Regional Chamber provides assistance with health insurance for businesses, nonprofits, families, and individuals throughout our region. We pride ourselves on the personalized service that we provide for our clients. Let us help you find health insurance plans that fit your needs and navigate the paperwork. Greece Chamber Benefit Partners, located at 2402 Westridge Road in Rochester, New York, offers a broad range of medical insurance plans for businesses, nonprofits, individuals, and families throughout the greater Rochester Finger Lakes region, working with insurance companies including Excelis Blue Cross Blue Shield, Univera, and MVP Healthcare. We can also help you access insurance plans through the New York State of Health, the official health plan marketplace. Again, you do not need to live or work in Greece to utilize our brokerage services. We serve the greater Rochester Finger Lakes region of New York State. Visit greecechamber.org to sign up for one of our free health insurance information sessions or schedule an appointment with one of our licensed brokers. Call 585-227-7272. 585-227-7272.
The one media outlet you can count on. The voice of liberty. The WYSL stations.
Welcome back. You're listening to Business Voice, a program of the Greece Regional Chamber of Commerce, sponsored by Bartolomeo and Perotto Funeral Home. I'm Sarah Lentini, your host. I'm also the president and CEO of the Greece Regional Chamber. I have as my next guest Sarah Goins, who is Regional Sales Representative for Church Mutual Insurance Company right here in the greater Rochester region. Welcome, Sarah.
Hi, Sarah. How are you?
I'm well. I love talking to somebody with the first name Sarah. It doesn't happen to me very often. I know maybe that's weird, but I love saying hi, Sarah. I think you do too. So tell us about Church Mutual Insurance Company. It sounds like you work with churches. Do you work with churches, and do you work with other organizations?
Yes. So Church Mutual Insurance, recently we developed a very unique insurance program to protect child care and nonprofit. But we've been doing it for churches for over 100 years.
Oh, wow. That's a long time.
This is something new. Yes, we're trying to help out our churches. We realize that a lot of our churches rent their space to nonprofits and sometimes child care center. So we branch into that specific area to see if we can be a great fit for them as well and do what we do for churches.
Oh, so you're working now with a range of nonprofits. Is that right? And human service agencies, of course, are, a key part of the nonprofit universe. And you said, so church has been around, the insurance companies, for over 100 years. Where did it start?
Yes, Church Mutual started in 1897 back in Wisconsin, Merrill, Wisconsin. It was founded by two pastors that started the whole organization. And over the years, we've seen that the churches are getting smaller. I know you guys probably know that with the church market they're getting very smaller. They're kind of combining churches, and congregations are getting smaller and smaller. So we've branched out to help childcare and nonprofits. So, yes.
Well, that's great. So it's got a true nonprofit soul, the organization.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
yes.
Which is not the norm when it comes to insurance. I mean, you guys are a brokerage firm, correct?
Yes, we are.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah, yeah. So I don't think most brokers, are so nonprofit focused. So that's very cool. And tell us about the sorts of insurance programs, insurance services, the specific ones that you offer to nonprofits and including churches in the country.
Yes, we offer from property protection to general liability, workers' comp, auto. We truly are a one-stop shop for all your insurance needs.
Really? Wow.
Absolutely, yes.
And you do health insurance as well, correct?
Yes, we do.
That is unusual, too. So you do health and auto and home, yes?
Yes, general liability. We do non-owned auto, commercial auto. So whatever the organization needs, we have created a unique program to become a one-stop shop for them. So they have one person that can go to for all the insurance needs.
That's great. And are you? I mean, if you're a for-profit or if you're an individual or a family, can you help those folks too?
Absolutely, we do have referral programs for those who does not fit. Again, what we do is we sit down and go and see if you're a great fit for the program. If you are not a great fit, we do have other options for you.
Okay, so basically, nobody should hesitate to reach out and talk to you, even if they're not a church or a nonprofit.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes, definitely.
Okay. That's great. And you're based here in the greater Rochester region, right, Sarah?
I am.
And are you covering, are you sort of the person representing church in the region, or how does that work?
I am the church in New York. So anyone that would like me to take a look at the coverage in New York, I'm happy to meet with them in person, or we can do this over the phone.
Oh, that's great. So if, maybe I'm not a nonprofit, maybe it's just me and my family, and I've got some insurance needs, and let's say I don't want to drive all the way over to wherever your office is. I don't actually even know, but you would meet me someplace, yes?
Absolutely, yes. With the pandemic, we've been working from home, so it's not realistic to have someone come to your home office, so we have to meet somewhere. And I'm always happy to meet people in public where we can discuss whatever insurance needs or questions they might have.
That's great. And if they want to do stuff by phone, they can do that too. I mean, you can get quite a bit accomplished over the phone, right?
Oh, absolutely. Over the phone, via email, text message, anytime.
That's great. And as churches sort of looking at their New York market, is New York an area that's growing for your company, or is it an area that's Wisconsin? This is not Wisconsin, and I know the company was started in Wisconsin. So, is there equal kind of representation across all states in the country, or is New York a relatively new market?
Oh no, there's been some of my coworkers worked for Church Mutual for 25 years. I have one of my teammates in Albany who's been with Church Mutual for 25 years. I am the second one joined too because the market is growing in this area, especially in the Rochester area and the Finger Lake region, and that's why Church Mutual brought me on board. I joined the company, yes.
Yeah, and we haven't known each other very long. We're very delighted that you've joined the Greece Regional Chamber of Commerce, but I was so impressed when I first met you to hear about, not just about you and your background, but to hear how committed you are to the community. It seems like every time I've talked to you that you've got a passion about helping people in our community. Does that? It sounds like that fits with church, right? It fits with your company.
Yes, absolutely. I've volunteered into the community to educate those who would like to learn more about insurance and help them save money. So yeah, I've been heavily involved in the last 10 years.
And you're saying you're providing some education for folks?
Absolutely. I do volunteer. I offer classes to teach people about insurance. If they have any questions, even personal line, not just commercial insurance, but also the, auto and home.
That's great.
Yeah.
And all of the insurance that you guys sell and make available to nonprofits and for-profits and families, they're all, they're all in the standard kinds of insurance policies that one might get from another company as well, right? There's nothing about them that's inferior. There's nothing about them that's, that's just unique to one. To one environment. I mean, it's not just for the religious community, right?
No. And Church Mutual is a rated A company, so we do protect our people, as what the word says. We protect the greater good, and we do that. Just that.
That's great. And the broker. You were a broker before you even started to work for Church, right?
Yes, I was an independent broker in the personal line. That's correct. Yes.
So you're bringing a whole range of experience, plus now you're working with them. So, and you're making yourself available to help people understand anything that they have questions about, which is pretty amazing, and to meet them wherever it works for them, which is also pretty amazing. So, as you're kind of moving through this. I was going to say this post-COVID landscape. I'm not sure if we're totally post-COVID yet, but are you? Do you have some things that you're particularly passionate about? Is the organization have any plans for events or for connecting? I know you. Like I said, we're delighted that you've joined the chamber because I know you've been coming to a lot of events and meeting people. What sorts of things are on your agenda as you look to the next year to 18 months?
Yes, I'm currently working and hopefully coming up with a plan that I can provide some type of training to childcare facilities. We do have some really great risk management that they can take and protect the organization. So I'm putting something in place for our community, and hopefully I will be able to do that every month and educate childcare facility around the area.
That's great. I mean, what a good focus and an interesting niche, and again, a wonderful community goal, which I hear you talk about every time we have a conversation. All right. Well, here's the big question: if somebody wants to get in touch with you, how do they do that?
Sarah, I've always tell people, feel free to reach out to me at 585-524-8581. Whenever your insurance comes due, I would love the opportunity to sit down and see if you are a good fit for this program.
So say that number one more time, Sarah.
It's 585-524-8581.
And they're going to get right to you, right?
Right to me. Feel free to shoot me a text message or a call at any time.
Well, you can't get better than that, because I think that's that's a very direct line to you, Sarah. Sarah Goins, Regional Sales Representative for New York State Church Mutual Insurance Company. Thank you so very much for being with us here today on Business Voice.
Thank you, Sarah.
All right. Don't go away. We're going to be right back with my next guest. Do not flip that dial.
Every life has a story. Bartolomeo and Perotto Funeral Home takes pride in helping families navigate the path to telling their loved one's unique story. It's difficult to avoid sadness at a time of loss, but sharing stories, pictures, and personal items can lead to a path of healing as you remember how special they were. Bartolomeo and Perotto certified celebrants help to create a meaningful celebration. If you are in need or want to learn more, contact Bartolomeo and Perotto Funeral Home at 720-6000.
Gift yourself a blah-free 2022. Boost your mood and your health in a blink. Blink Fitness is your fun, friendly neighborhood gym with tons of state-of-the-art equipment and a mood above muscle attitude. Join for $1 and get all the perks. What do you have to lose? Blink Fitness Greece is located at 2833 West Ridge Road in the Wegmans Ridgemont Plaza. Join today and experience feel-good fitness in a blink.
If you're looking to market and grow your business, make new business connections, and give back to the community in a meaningful way, consider joining the Greece Regional Chamber of Commerce. We're the largest suburban chamber in Monroe County, and we offer networking, education, marketing, insurance, and advocacy. You do not need to live or work in Greece to join. Our members come from throughout the region. In short, we're better together, and together, we're moving business forward. Visit greecechamber.org or call 585-227-7272 to join today.
Have you felt the Village vibe? It's that feeling of confidence, a swagger that's only found when you visit the Village at Unity. It's laughter and joy. It's knowing that, hey, they've got this. Because what the Village does better than anyone is to help solve your senior housing problems. From dining to transportation and programs to security, you can be sure that the Village has it. Come and feel the Village vibe. Visit thevillageatunity.com and discover what your senior living experience could be.
Depositing your money with Genesee Regional Bank helps strengthen the local community. That's because GRB lends its deposits so the community can grow and prosper. Genesee Regional Bank. Community banking, community building.
Visit grbbank.com. Member FDIC.
Tune in anywhere. Live streaming to PCs and mobile devices at WYSL1040.com.
Welcome back. You're listening to Business Voice, a program of the Greece Regional Chamber of Commerce, sponsored by Bartolomeo and Perotto Funeral Homes. I am Sarah Lentini, your host. I'm also the president and CEO of the Greece Regional Chamber. I'm super delighted to welcome my next guest, Lydia Rolle-Key, who is CEO of Rolle Key Enterprises. Welcome, Lydia.
Hi, thanks for inviting me to join you today.
Oh, absolutely. And thank you for joining the Chamber. You're yet another brand new member of the Chamber. We've had several on today's show, and it's exciting to see all of the movement in the business community right now. It's long overdue. And this is your baby, right? So is this a company that you just started or that you started recently, or is it just that you just joined the Chamber? I'm not sure.
Yeah, actually, well, I started my business about a year ago, but yes, I am a new chamber member, and I'm happy about that.
Same here.
But yeah.
So a year ago is not that long ago, though, and that means you also started this business during, kind of a challenging time, right? So good for you. And tell us about the business. What is it that you do?
Yeah, so I'm the owner of Rolle Key Enterprises, and we create custom training solutions for businesses, government agencies, and organizations. So, for example, we create custom instructor-led training for workshops and presentations, and also e-learning experiences that range from basic interactions to more complex virtual reality simulations.
Oh, wow.
So our virtual reality courses can be accessed, on any smartphone or tablet or laptop, and they're a really great option for on-the-job training for a wide variety of industries.
Wow. So I can't help but grab onto the virtual reality training because that sounds so cutting edge and cool. Can you give us an example of that? Like, is it that you get to experience an actual employment situation that maybe has got some technology to it, or tell us about it?
Yeah, absolutely. So it can be used with a wide variety of industries. So, for example, I've created training for health and safety, and it's great because you can, put the learner in a virtual simulation so that way they can kind of, determine what they would actually do if an emergency presented itself, and it can kind of guide them through the steps that they need to take in order to resolve that issue. And what's great about this type of training is that, you can view it, of course, in a VR headset, but if you don't have that, you can also just use your smartphone, and, we provide the QR code link, and you can just access it from your smartphone. So while you're on the job, if you just need a quick reminder of what to do, you can just take that quick training and just continue on the job. So it's a really cool tool.
It sounds very cool. I don't know that you you're using it for these things, but I imagine that it could be kind of a cool way to learn something about, say, surgery or flying a plane, or things that that a simulation could help you experience more safely initially and learn about. And so it sounds like a very sort of a fascinating new way to think about training programs. So tell us about you. It sounds like you have a background in training and curriculum, yes?
I do. So I'm an instructional designer, and I've developed training programs for over 15 years. Everywhere from have an educational background in terms of like developing training for school systems and also for multinational corporations, a wide range of training that I've developed. And I like to think that, my overall expertise is that I like to save the world from boring training. So I'm very passionate about it. I love what I do. And I'm really excited to continue working in this field and to continue to help different organizations create the training that they need for their audiences.
Mm-hmm. And you work with big companies, right? I think that's what I had read in your bio.
Yeah, I work with all sizes. So multinational corporations, but then also small business owners who have something that they need to create for their employees or for their audiences, and then also government agencies. So I kind of, have a full range of clients that I can work with.
And talk to us about affordability, because it sounds like if a company comes to you, and it sounds like it can be a smaller business or a bigger one, and if they've got a training need, it sounds as though you are able to design something, tailor it specifically for their needs. How expensive does that get? How affordable is that? I mean, that's probably a difficult thing to answer, but, is it?
Yeah, absolutely. So, that actually, it would range depending on what they actually need. But we are able to work with a wide variety of budgets. And I will say, I do have our company, aside from the custom training, we do also have a new course design app that we're launching that actually helps small business owners who, they wanted sort of like a do-it-yourself option, but they just needed a little bit of guidance on how to create that effective course. So our course design app that we just created is called Sell Your Smarts, and it helps simplify the whole course design process for you. So essentially, you're able to just pick a course template from our growing library. You complete a guided form, and then it'll automatically create your course slide deck, the lesson summary sheets and resources, and then you can just take that, download it, and use it on any platform of your choice.
Wow. And this is an app of yours. You created it.
Yeah, I did. That's been my baby for the past years, just developing a really great tool that could be useful for small business owners.
That's a terrific accomplishment. I mean, that's really great. I'm assuming it's a proprietary piece of software. I hope it is, for your sake. Yes, it's something that you own, yeah?
Yes, so it is. We own the Sell Your Smarts app. It's our baby, so there's a proprietary software.
That's great. That's very impressive, and it sounds like you said you've been working on that longer than a year, right? Because I know the business is just a year, but that sounds like yeah, and that's great. And you're also saying we. So is there a team of folks?
Well, yes. Well, it's myself, and then I have my developer who helped me create the app.
That's great. That's wonderful.
A small team.
Yeah, critically, it's a small team, but you've got some critical, folks on it. So, and when it comes to doing some of the virtual reality training, I'm just sort of thinking aloud. Let's say the chamber wanted to do some kind of training, and we wanted to do it using, virtual reality, but we don't have any knowledge of that or any of the equipment. Would you provide all that for us?
Yeah, absolutely. So basically, if you're working with me, I would, we would set up some time in order to meet, to figure out what the needs are for your training. And then, we would get to the point where I would come with my equipment and I would record the areas that you need using my 360 camera. And that tool I would use to help them create the actual training. But it's a process that involves input from you as well as from me in order to be able to create the actual training.
That's great. And you said earlier that it's your commitment, vision, dream, passion. I'm not sure what word you used to save the world from boring trainings.
Yes.
Which I thought was a great. Obviously, I'm not remembering a key word in there, but I thought it was a great statement, and it really was a description of you and what drives you. But how did you get there? What made you feel so passionately about training in this area?
Well, again, my background is in education, but to be honest, I've sat through some really bad training in the past. And I don't want people to suffer through that anymore. So, so I try and do, everything that I can to really create an engaging learning experience. That's my mission.
Yeah, I think that's great. I wish there were more people like you, and you're making me think. I've said to many people that, not every boss that I had in my life was ideal, but the ones that weren't ideal almost taught me more than the ones that were, because sometimes it's important to know what you don't want to replicate. So, my hat's off to you for starting the company, for developing this app, and for being committed to training in a wide variety of areas that keep people engaged and teach them well. Can't think of anything better than that in the educational arena, especially. Lydia Rolle-Key, CEO, Rolle Key Enterprises. If people want to reach you, how do they do that?
Yes, you can visit my website. It's rolleandkey.com. I'm also on LinkedIn, Lydia Rolle-Key. And, if you want to send me an email as well, it's lydia@rolleandkey.com.
Beautiful. Lydia Rolle-Key, that's Rolle, R-O-L-L-E, Key, K-E-Y, CEO, Rolle Key Enterprises. Thank you so much for being here with us today on Business Voice.
Thank you.
That just about does it for us here today on Business Voice, a program of the Greece Regional Chamber of Commerce, sponsored by Bartolomeo and Perotto Funeral Home. I want to thank all of my guests: Dara Petralia, Ryan's Roc'n Deals; Don Lewinski, Care Patrol; Sarah Goins, Church Mutual Insurance Company; and, of course, Lydia Rolle-Key of Rolle Key Enterprises. We hope you check us out on the web. That's greecechamber.org, greecechamber.org. You'll see what's going on. And also you can connect to all of our wonderful members. And until next time, be well.
You've been listening to Business Voice. The Greece Regional Chamber of Commerce serves businesses, nonprofits, and individuals throughout the region, focusing on promoting economic and community development and serving as the voice for business. The Chamber offers networking, education, advocacy, community events, and business services. It serves as an important platform for business leaders and citizens to come together in support of common goals.